In this video, I'm going to talk about why people are leaving Ethereum for a different blockchain and what I think about that as a blockchain developer who works the Ethereum protocol on a daily basis. Where are they going? Is this bad for Ethereum? Is it going to lose its position as the #1 blockchain smart contract platform? So before we get into that, if you're new around here, hey, I'm Gregory, and on this channel, I turn you into a blockchain master. So if that's something that you're interested in, then smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to this channel. And if you want to learn how to master blockchain step-by-step from start to finish, then head on over to dappuniversity.com/bootcamp to get started today. All right, so let's get into this. So what is this brand new blockchain that people are flocking to? Why are they leaving Ethereum? So we've been talking about this on the daily live streams that we do in this channel, so you should check those out if you haven't already. But I want to make this video to summarize exactly what's been happening because this has kind of been going out over a few days. So I want to make this succinct video, clear this up, give you my thoughts all in one place. So what's this new blockchain people are using? Well, it's Binance Smart Chain. Well, it's a blockchain created by Binance, one of the world's largest cryptocurrency exchanges. It might actually be the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange. And it's been around for a while now. We saw DeFi apps launching on top of Binance Chain last year alongside, Ethereum during the DeFi summer, et cetera. But Binance Smart Chain has really gained a lot of adoption in the past month or so. And we've seen a lot of new users try to enter onto this platform to start doing DeFi this way instead of doing it on top of Ethereum. So let's talk about why. So the first reason is that there are gains to be made. So on top of Binance Smart Chain, there's a DeFi ecosystem that lets you do yield farming and lets you trade tokens. And people are going over here to try to maximize these high yields, earn a lot of money every single day. This is very similar to what happened on Ethereum last year in 2020 over, DeFi summer. So the other big reason are the fees on top of Binance Smart Chain. People are constantly complaining that Ethereum's gas fees are just way too high. It's unsustainable. Nobody's ever going to use it. And so people have been looking for alternatives. And for this reason, they've been going to Binance Smart Chain to trade tokens, do yield farming, and other activities that they're, kind of priced out of on top of Ethereum right now. And for these two reasons, we've seen a lot of attention on Binance Smart Chain over the last month or so. And we saw Binance cryptocurrency go up like crazy because people are making a speculative bet on this being the next hot thing. And so this has some people wondering like, hey, is this bad for Ethereum? Is everybody just going to leave Ethereum and go to this new blockchain? Well, let's take a look at how Binance Smart Chain works in the first place, and I'll explain what I think about this. So Binance Smart Chain is a fork of Ethereum, and it basically just takes Ethereum, clones it, changes how it works slightly, so it has the benefits that these other users are getting, like low gas fees. And so you might say, well, if Binance is able to do that, just fork Ethereum and clone it and make it better, why doesn't Ethereum do that and fix its gas fees today? Well, that's because they're making a trade-off that Ethereum's not willing to do. So let me explain what that is right now, because that's really going to impact the future of this technology, I believe, over the long term. So to understand how this works, you have to first understand the scalability trilemma. So this is a problem that all blockchains face. This was coined by Vitalik Buterin himself, the co-founder of Ethereum. So you think about a dilemma, like two different things that you're caught in between. Well, a scalability trilemma are three different problems you have to worry about. So the first is security, the second is scalability, and the third is decentralization. So the whole goal of the scalability trilemma is to, find the best trade-off you can get to get the best performance and all the benefits, everything like that. Okay. So the first thing is security. So you want a blockchain to be secure. You don't want people's money to get stolen. You want scalability. You want it to be fast. And you also want it to be decentralized so that other people can't censor it. And that there's no, single party controlling the network itself. So various blockchains make different trade-offs to achieve the best benefit they can. But the biggest reason that Binance Smart Chain is able to offer really low fees right now is because they make major compromises on this part right here, decentralization. So one of the reasons that Ethereum is slow right now is because it's a very decentralized network. So if you look on Etherscan right now, you can see that there's a total of 8,000 nodes found. The number kind of goes up and down a little bit here, but close to 10,000 just for easy numbers. All right. And because of the current state of the technology, whenever new transactions are confirmed in the blockchain, it has to make a round trip through these nodes. All right. That's one of the reasons it's slow in the first place. So, going back to trilemma, that gives you more decentralization. It means the network is more censorship resistant and provides all the other, benefits that you would get out of decentralization. But by contrast, Binance, like I said, is a fork of Ethereum, but it changes how Ethereum works at a fundamental level. It uses a brand new consensus mechanism called proof of staked authority. So without getting into the details about how that works, the important thing to know is that Binance Smart Chain only has 21 validators. So you can go to bsscan.com here, and verify it for yourself. You can see 21 different validators on this chain itself. And on top of this small number of validators, one of the biggest criticisms I hear floating around is that Binance basically has control over these validators as well. And so the biggest difference here is that Ethereum is decentralized and Binance Smart Chain is way, way, way more centralized. And so you might say, well, people don't really seem to care. I mean, they're going to Binance Smart Chain, even, fully knowing it's more centralized than Ethereum is, because it's got lower fees and they can chase gains. And this has got some people thinking that, hey, Ethereum is just too slow. Like, nobody actually cares about decentralization. They're just going to leave for these other blockchains. And the other chains can just take this shortcut because, hey, this is what people are willing to do. They don't actually care about decentralization. They just care about making money and not paying fees. Now, I'll give you my thoughts on this. So I think there is some truth to this. I mean, people don't like the fees. They're clearly going here to make some money, but I don't think it's going to last forever. And that's key. So a couple things. One, as soon as the gains go away, they're not going to stick around. Number two, as soon as the users actually experience the pain of centralization, then there can be a really big incentive for them to not use that solution anymore, despite it being lower gas fees. So what do I mean by that? Well, don't forget, one of the biggest benefits of decentralization is censorship resistance. Basically, whenever you put a program with a smart contract onto a blockchain to a truly decentralized blockchain, it can't really be censored. It can't be taken down. So don't forget, a lot of the cryptocurrency projects out there are potentially violating laws whenever they're created. And if it's on a centralized blockchain, you could see outside regulatory pressure come in and shut those applications down. And if Binance saw enough regulatory pressure over a blockchain they technically own, then what happens to all the users who own these cryptocurrencies on top of this chain or have their money locked into yield farming projects? That's a very real risk that people need to understand if they're going to get into this. So whenever new cryptocurrency is launched on top of something like Binance, it's not really borderless, it's not really decentralized, and it's prone to regulatory crackdown. So in addition to outside regulatory forces, don't forget, if there's a centralized entity that has a good deal of control over this chain, I mean, it could face internal censoring. So your funds could potentially be frozen. If there's anything that happens that they don't like, then you could face the consequences of that. Now, some people would say the incentives aren't really aligned for them to do something like that, but the possibility is definitely on the table, and it's something you should know before using a piece of technology like this. And those are some ways that centralization could affect users on a blockchain like this. But let's say that doesn't happen. Let's say that users don't care about centralization versus decentralization. They go start using these more centralized platforms because they're incentivized by the gains and they're incentivized by the low fees. Then there could still be a really prominent alternative that provides them the exact same thing on top of Ethereum very soon with layer 2 scaling solutions. So my thought is this. Is this bad for Ethereum in the short term? Maybe a little bit. I think you'll see some users move over to these new chains to chase the gains and avoid the high fees. So as soon as Ethereum is competitive in terms of transaction fees with layer 2 scaling solutions, and it also has this decentralized benefit, then that's going to be a really big competitive edge. Now I want to kind of wrap this up and clarify something really important here. Do I think that Binance Smart Chain is fundamentally bad or anything like that? No, I don't really think so, but I do want to be very clear about what the trade-offs that are being made here. And I also want to emphasize a really important point, which is really the whole reason for making this video. I don't think that Binance Smart Chain is going to just siphon off all the activity, all the innovation that's happening on top of Ethereum and now become the market leader. Do I think it'll take some market share from Ethereum in the short to midterm? It very likely will. And that share could grow over time. But like I was saying a second ago, I think as soon as layer 2 scaling solutions hit Ethereum mainnet, we're likely to see that ratio change significantly. And one actual benefit of Binance Smart Chain that I see right now for developers especially is that it creates a way for you to create new smart contracts and put them on top of a blockchain where there are real users, where you can, test things out with real money in a way that's cost prohibitive for most people to do that on top of Ethereum right now. So don't forget, Binance Smart Chain is a fork of Ethereum, so it's an EVM compatible chain. So everything I teach you on this YouTube channel, how to code smart contracts with Solidity, how to put them on a blockchain like Ethereum, pretty much all that knowledge transfers over to developing for Binance Smart Chain. That's one of the reasons that so many apps have been able to launch so fast on top of Binance Smart Chain. And we've been able to see this explosion of activity. I mean, the other reason is they're basically just forking Ethereum applications changing them a little bit, and then launching them for, other users. So PancakeSwap, as an example, you can just look at the PancakeSwap GitHub repository. It's basically just a clone of Uniswap with a few things changed and launched on top of Binance Smart Chain. So before developers, if you've learned all these skills, and you can go try to deploy your contracts there, test it out with real users, real money, and potentially even launch your product there before you move it back to something like Ethereum. All right, so those are my thoughts. So in summary, basically, people are starting to use Binance Smart Chain because there's lots of new DeFi projects launching on there. They can get a lot of gains. They can swap tokens on PancakeSwap, just like Uniswap. And the fees are much lower than Ethereum. Ethereum gas fees are crazy high right now. Part of that's because of demand for the network itself and also the price of Ether, but fees are low on Binance Smart Chain right now. But why is that? Well, basically, Binance is a fork of Ethereum that compromises all the decentralization that Ethereum preserves. That's one of the reasons Ethereum is so slow in the first place. So do I think this poses any kind of real threat to Ethereum long term? No, I don't. Do I think some people will get priced out of using Ethereum, start using Binance Smart Chain for some DeFi activity? Yes, I do think that will happen in the short term. But I think long term that the value of decentralization will help Ethereum maintain its lead as the #1 smart contract platform compared to these other options. And don't forget, Ethereum is going to be much more competitive relatively soon as layer 2 scaling technologies are more widely adopted across the Ethereum apps. All right, so that's all I've got for today. As always, smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm to subscribe to this channel. That really helps these videos out so the more people can learn about blockchain. And if you're as fascinated with this technology as I am and you want to get your hands dirty, how can you become a blockchain developer today? Well, you can go to my YouTube homepage. You can find any of my free courses there. They're like Udemy courses, but they're totally free. And if you like those and you want to take the next step, or hey, maybe you want to take a master shortcut entirely, I can show you how to become a blockchain master step-by-step from start to finish over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. You don't have to be an expert to get started today. I've helped people with zero coding background become real-world blockchain developers in a matter of months. All right, so that's all I've got. And until next time, thanks for watching Dapp University.